night, starry night. A loving mother, a flame-eating father. Look up, cherish both her.
You've arrived, my friend. Punctual as always. Good day, manager. Wonderful to see you again. You're as sophisticated and charming as always. About our previous discussion, I assume you've made some progress? I see. Looks like it's more complicated than I thought. I appreciate your help. Here are the promised invitations for you. One was mine, but I won't be able to attend as I'll be occupied that day. I had to pull a few strings to secure these invitations, so please don't mention where they came from. Otherwise, someone might come hunt me down.
Wait, seriously? Is the auction really that dangerous?
Well, when you dance with sharks, you can't avoid risk. But I have faith in you, dear manager. I'm entrusting you with my life.
Don't worry, my lips are sealed. And so are my sisters.
I've been meaning to say, you're so close with your sibling. I'm kind of jealous. What's your view on family ties, manager?
It's a bond you can count on. Like, no matter what happens, Belle and I have each other's backs.
That's the exact kind of answer I expected from you.
My one is
How lovely.
because
I
she's
once had a
from
half-sister. Different mothers.
Had? You didn't have a fallout over some big argument, did you?
Start of the
No,
chapter 6
We
and this
never
one,
argued.
because until
I would
finally
like to try, but it's too late. She's been gone so long, I can barely remember her face.
Everybody's president after also this is having an episode like
I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was a sensitive topic. My condolences.
It's okay. I brought it up first, and it was ages ago. Anyway, back to what we were saying. It's highly likely that Hartman will be at the auction as well. As you know, while he's the rightful heir to the Ravenlock family, he keeps many secrets. Should you cross paths with him in the future, be cautious. He's sitting up on his high horse looking down on everyone else, and he'll do whatever it takes to get more power. I hope these upper-class people eventually face the punishment they deserve. Too bad the scales of fate lean one way or another, unless someone steps in to tip them back. I digress. That's all for today. I have some errands to attend to, so I'll take my leave. Have fun at the auction.
It is a pleasure to see you again, Master Proxy.
It's been a while.
finally. You have to trust me on that. I can fight life. Okay, sorry about that, because Kevin Firefly was quite bad manner to stop streaming on herself. Look, that's up to me to stop you for you, Kevin Firefly. You cannot do that on yourself like that. That's enough, Kevin Firefly. Sorry for technical difficulty. It's not funny, man. It's embarrassing when it's doing the middle of the stream, man. Keep carry on, Firefly. Now don't stop the stream, man. Carry on while you bloody do anything. That's kind of embarrassing. Sorry about that. That was kind of embarrassing. And streaming cut off back and fight on herself. That's not meant to happen. You should shame to yourself, kind of life. You cannot cut the streaming off like on yourself. That's up to me to stop the streaming for you. So that's enough. Yeah, sorry about that. I hear ballet. Wait, what? Okay, let's on.
Morning. Want to start this beautiful day with a win?
Yep, I was fairly. Ooh, I bumped. Sorry about that. Ooh, that's quite close. Ooh, that's quite clumsy. No time to turn around. So let's try this again. Oh wait, just what I thought that for a moment.
Wish I could get out of here early.
my god, look at that. Wow. Now where's... Ah, yeah, we're to talk to her. So while we're at it, we're going to explore around for a moment. This is quite well done design of this map of seeing the open world like that way. This was upstairs. Yeah, Piper's my favourite Zenless and Steel characters because she's funny. She's tired or fatigued or whatever, but she's still funny. She's quite funny like that. Oh, dead end.
Another mission or something?
No, it's not that. It's Bee Lion. He ran away from home.
Bee Lion? The always following the rules Bee Lion ran away from home? What's the story?
I bumped into him on the street just now. I asked if he needed help with anything, but he was acting all weird and dodgy, rambling on about stuff I didn't understand. He said he came to realize that he's the chosen one with some unavoidable fate waiting for him. He doesn't want to drag us into it, but intends to break through to enlightenment. Oh, and he also said, "Worry not for me, my young friends." Then he just bolted. I searched everywhere, but I couldn't find him. What's with this chosen one stuff? And I don't think I have ever heard Shifu mention anything as dire as an unavoidable fate.
He sounds like he's going through that phase. Senior Fufu, you've heard of it, right? That phase where people think they have some grand destiny or special mission in life?
A phase? Grand destiny? He didn't say anything like that when he came to me for training advice. Before he became our messenger at the temple, he spent a long time helping everyone train at Yunkwei Summit. He actually started way earlier than most of the other disciples. And after coming to the temple, he's always been diligent, never slacking off, not even a little. It's all my fault. I've been so focused on rebuilding the temple that I haven't taken time to check in on him or his training. I've been a terrible senior.
Senior Fufu, don't beat yourself up. Honestly, it sounds like Beeline's just off on some self-training journey. Besides, if you think about it, Bangbu kind of have a natural advantage when it comes to training, right?
Natural advantage. How?
Well, the average person has to go through a ridiculously complicated process just to live a little longer. But Bangbu, they just slap on some new parts and they're good as new. In that sense, yeah, I guess he kind of is the chosen one.
Swapping out parts, huh? Shifu did mention that our Bangbu are naturally suited for physical training. That's probably why they're always so careful with their parts.
By that logic, that makes Enzo the #1 physical training master on 6th Street.
Enzo?
Oh, he's the owner of Turbo Remodeling Shop on 6th Street. Sorry, I digress. Where exactly did you run into Beeline earlier?
Near Boo Box. Oh, wait. Boo Box? No way. Could Lion be thinking about leaving us and joining them?
With how much Beeline cares about Rinkoi Summit, that doesn't sound like him. Let's search the area again and get to the bottom of this.
Yeah. If some other group tries to poach Lion, then I'll just bring him back again.
Old Wi-Fi's ancient healing traditions, drawn from centuries of wisdom, to ease modern ailments and preserve the essence of timeless remedies.
Oh, it's bounced again. That's quite bad.
Can I lend a paw? Wooda! Lila! Huh?
That's it. Then it's bounce again. Can make us bounce.
の。終わった。
About damn time. Wow, look at that.
The Google Pixel 10 Pro XL looks to be another solid offering from Google. We got it in its jade colorway, and its signature minimal aesthetic makes it quite tempting to switch over and use it as a daily driver. The real question is, how will it fare with our gaming gauntlet of Genshin Impact, Zenless Zone Zero, Wuthering Waves with the Games of GA Plus, and PUBG Mobile at their highest possible settings. Performance-wise, the Google Pixel 10 Pro XL that we have. What's up, everyone? What's up everyone? Before I get into it, we are using PerfDock to measure performance on the devices we're testing out, so thank you PerfDock. We have the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 and it is a sleek looking fold packing some great hardware. But how will this fare with our gaming gauntlet of Genshin Impact, Zenless Zero, Wuthering Waves with the games of GA Plus and PUBG Mobile at their highest possible settings? Performance wise, the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 that we have is running the Snapdragon 8 Elite for its CPU and Adreno 830 for its GPU, 12 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage. Everything plays out on an 8-inch foldable dynamic LTPO AMOLED 2x 120Hz HDR10 Plus display, and lastly, it has a 4,400 mAh battery. So before we do anything, let's just check our temperatures real quick, starting from the top over here on the inside of the fold. From the top over here, 28 degrees, 28.7, 29. As we get to the middle over here, nothing out of the ordinary. And as we get to the lower bits, alright, no anomalies, everything is looking okay. Let's check the back. Starting with the camera modules over here, 27.6. And shift up to the right over here, 29.1, 28, 29. Everything is looking okay so far. Nothing weird. Okay, so with that, let's get into our first game, Genshin Impact. So we are in Genshin Impact right now. Let's check out settings before we start anything, but so far this is looking great on this display. Holy cow. So for graphics, I've set everything to the highest. So render resolution at highest, shadow quality is on high, visual effects on high, SFX quality is also on high, environmental details at the highest, FPS is 60, that's the highest we can go. Outside of that, motion blur is on high, bloom's turned on, TA for anti-aliasing, crowd density is on high, and that's really about it. So let's do a little test. Let's switch on characters real quick. And so far, that is still a very steady 60. Very promising stuff so far. Okay, and let's run through the city real quick. This is really nice to play with. Obviously, it is thin, so you don't want to be raging with this phone, but performance wise we're looking at 59, 55. It is dropping a little bit. Again, this is running the Snapdragon 8 Elite and the Adreno 830 combo, so I'm expecting it to run quite smoothly, but that line isn't very smooth right now. Alright, and we're down like 54. But so far so good. Nothing super major just yet. Alright. And yeah, I think that should be it. But we'll get a better idea when we go out and explore. So let's just do some commissions real quick. So we're at the commission location right now. Let's just get to it. It is way over there. Here we go. Oh, my bad. So far, combat looks pretty much okay. So far. Right, ulti. And that looks. Okay, so far so good. The Snapdragon 8 Elite and the Adreno 830 combo is doing the job. But the thing is, when it comes to combat, as you can see through that section again, PerfDock is telling a very different story. The FPS does dip a little bit. I think the lowest like 48 FPS, but you know what? So far, it's manageable. It isn't super dramatic. So exploration-wise, when you are playing... Oh boy. Ulti. So you're just exploring, it's about 60, but when you get into combat, it's a very different story. So I still think that, this thing is performing pretty well. But
thanks to the game
let's
out,
just get into the Spiral Abyss. Here you go, ulti. I mean, again, with the Spiral Abyss, it's an arena type format, so I'm going to expect the performance to be a lot better. Yeah, as you can see, it's not dipping as much as it was when we were outside. Yeah, as you can see, performance is still pretty good. I'm not going to expect it to hit a constant 60 the entire way, so that would be nice. But so long as it doesn't hinder the experience, I think it's okay. Nice. Oh, I think we should be good in a bit, and yeah, that's it. So far so good. I think performance has been great, though you know that line is looking very squiggly right now. Let's check temperatures real quick. This is still a beautiful display. Let's check temperatures real quick, starting from the top over here where the front facing camera is at 33, 34, 41. Okay, yeah, that's more like it. That's what I'm expecting. But 41 for the middle bits, that's expected. It's 41 somewhere on here. 42, 41.5. Okay. As you go lower to the middle between the two displays, that's okay. 33. Nothing too crazy. It's just that one spot over there where I think the chip is at. Yep. Look at that. The rest of the areas are okay. They're still cool to the touch. All good except for this bit over here. Let's check that out. Yeah, that's where it's right beside the camera. At the back now. The modules are about 35, and we go to the side over here, 39.7, 39.6, not getting any 40s. Oh, no 40s at all. Oh, that is interesting. Okay, let's go lower on this half, 35. Yeah, this is really good thermal management. Look at that. It's not even breaking 40 over here. The other side I kind of understand, you know, because it is a display. So, but with this end over here, it's not even hitting 40. That is cool to see. Let's check the side over here. Alright. 32.7, 32.5, 33. Yeah. Because this thing is just purely display. Everything is coming from this bit over here. So that is quite cool to see. Alright, so with that, let's get into our next game, Zenless Zone Zero. Alright, so it's been about a minute since we ended Genshin Impact. Let's check temperatures before we start the next game, Zenless Zone Zero. And as you can see, 31.3. This out here, 34.3. This thing does lose heat pretty easily. That's pretty right. 31.3, 33.1, 34. Look at that, all those areas just now, they have significantly cooled down in a very short period of time. The top over here, 33, 34. So that's pretty sick to see. Look here, let's check the back real quick. It was close to 40, didn't hit 40. It was like 39-ish on this end, and right now it's at 33. Wow. Okay. Alright, that's nice. And the rest of it looks like it did before we started the test. I mean, it was like 28 or 29, but still, you know, the fact that it lost so much heat in like 1 or 2 minutes is kind of crazy. Look at that. Wow. Okay, so with that, let's get into Zenless Zone Zero. Alright, so we are in Zenless Zone Zero right now. Let's check out settings before we start anything. Alright, so for graphics, rendering on high, anti-aliasing on TAA, shadows on high, FX quality on ultra, FPS on 60, character quality high, environment high. Volumetric fog has been enabled, bloom has been enabled as well, and that's about it. Well, let's run through 6 Street real quick. And when we hit this intersection over here, oh, okay, that's still pretty smooth. Okay, 52, 57, 60, no drastic frame rate drops whatsoever. Honestly, I think asking for a constant 60 with this phone is a bit much. But you know what, like so long as it doesn't drop to like what 20 or 30 FPS on a whim, I think that's okay. But so far, you know, this is performing pretty smoothly. As you can see from the graph over here, 52, 60, and yeah, all the way back. That's pretty good. Alright, let's just farm for some materials real quick. Oh, that is a bit bright. Give me a sec. Alright, gonna get hit in 3, 2, 1. Okay. This is a nice resolution to play at. It's big enough to get all the action in and take it all in. Okay. This is a nice resolution to play at. It's big enough to take in all the action. Noise. So far, your performance is good. Having any issues, no big frame drops, nothing like you've seen with other phones. Oh, here we go. Oh, come on.
almost time. I will say that.
No issues. Come on. Let's go. Whoa. Okay. Things got a bit hectic. That took a huge dip. Oh man, that was a pretty big dip. I gotta check it out later. Here we go. So when things get busy, there is that off chance that they will drop quite a bit. But again, you know, Zenless is still a lot more intensive compared to Genshin. Yeah, I think this should seal the deal. There we go. Alright, let me just check out that dip real quick. I want to see how far it went down. Yeah, they went up to like 18 FPS. Okay, that's interesting to see. That was the lowest we've seen so far, but the rest of the combat bits has been great. Let's just do another round. There we go. Oh, roll back, get the Britannian. Nope, come on. Okie dokies, let's just go for that. Get stunned, boy. Missed that. Okay, little frame rate drop when we were dodging just now. I'm not looking for it right now. Oh my god. Okay. Cool, do your thing. Alright, let's go, Let's go. Alright, let's one more dodge over here. Nice. The perfect dodge. A little frame rate drop. Nothing too drastic. Nice. Very nice. Keep it going. I don't leave any damage going through. Alright, nice. Jane is on it. Alright, let's go to Cole. Oh, whoa. Okay. Oh my lord, okay. That is we're at 29, 30 FPS right now. Holy crap. Okay, it's going up again. To be fair, we just got the phone not too long ago. So I'm guessing a lot of the games are just, not optimized for the release of this phone just yet. Oh lordy. Alright, let's go, Nicole. I thought I was gonna run away. Alright, my ass for time. Come on. Oh, come on. I didn't register. Okay, my ass was up and everything. Yeah, this thing is... Oh, we need to run. With my ass was up, it does bring down the FPS a little bit. Yeah, like what? 40? I'm struggling between like 20 to 40.
I'll make it painless.
Here you go. Come on, it should be good to go in a bit. Nice, Nicole. Alright, Angry. Alright, and Jane Do. Should be wrapping this up in a bit. Ulti real quick, and I think this should seal the deal. At 40 to 60 FPS. Oh, a bit more. Bam, bam, bam. 30, 27, 51, 43 FPS. Okay, so with the miasma stuff, it adds on a lot to the phone's load. So that's why we're seeing with the last boss, it did dip a bit when the miasma section was triggered. So let's check temperatures before we continue anything. So while the game has been up for 11 minutes, let's check temperatures real quick. Starting from the top over here where the front-facing camera is at, and 43. Expected to be higher than Genshin, of course, but nothing more than that. Honestly, on the temperature front, this phone is still doing pretty well. I'd say, if not pretty damn good, I'd say. It does feel a bit warmer compared to playing with Genshin, of course, but you know, it's Zenless on 0, so it's still pretty good. Let's check the back. Alright, we've broken 42, 42, 41. Alright, 41.8, expected. And on this side of the camera modules are at 36, 35.9. Alright, things are looking okay. At the bottom bits over here, 38.9, 37, 36.1. Pretty cool. And on this end, 31.9, nothing out of the ordinary, nothing too hot even, nothing even breaking 35 degrees. The Fold 7 is performing pretty well. Samsung is really good with their thermal management now, especially with these larger phones. So I'm pretty happy to see what's happening over here. And with that, let's get to our next game, Wuthering Waves. But before that, here is a message from our friends at Secret Lab. At Geek Culture, Secret Lab is our everyday ergonomic buddy. Whether we're making videos, writing up a storm, or gaming for hours on end, we are comfortably seated and feel right at home without the aches and pains. Secret Lab provides ergonomic support from head to toe with a dynamic lumbar support system that adapts to your movements, along with a proprietary medium foam cushioning that optimizes pressure distribution. They even have accessories like the ergonomic recliner add-on to keep your legs elevated and well rested at any angle you like. For more information, check out secretlab.co. Alright, so we are back from Zenless on 0. Let's check temperatures real quick before we start Wuthering Waves. And over here, look at that, 32, 32.8. These numbers really go down pretty fast. Look at that. There's only been about like a minute or two of downtime between the two games. So this is looking up. Again, I really love the thermal management on this phone. Camera modules 35.1. This bit over here where the chipset is at 37, it was 43 a minute ago. So look at that, that is kind of crazy. Alright. 35, 34.8, 35.5, 33. Yep, these are looking up. That's pretty sick. Alright. And with that, let's get into Wuthering Waves with the GameSir J+. Let's just do a quick check to see whether this thing will fit inside, and I am very confident that it will. And yes, very comfortably. The camera module is not obstructed, and this thing looks great in this, and it feels good in the GameSir J+. Alright, let's get into Wuthering Waves. Alright, so we are in Wuthering Waves right now. Let's check out our settings real quick before we start anything. So we're in ultra high for resolution, frame rate at 60, spatial effects quality on high, FSR on, shadow quality ultra high, LED bias on high, capsule E on, anti-aliasing turned on, bloom turned on, crowd density on high, animated flash turned on, and yep, that's pretty much it. Physics-based animation turned on, and yeah, that's all. And here we go. So far pretty smooth. I don't think we're gonna hit that steady 60 anytime soon. It's going to be at 44, 50-ish. There should be a cafe somewhere around here. Here we go. Yep, a couple people over here. No drops whatsoever. It's still at a very steady 45 FPS. People are rendering in. And so are the birds. Okay, let's hit down real quick. Alright, kind of dropping a little bit to 30 as we hit to this side. 31 FPS, 30. Oh yeah, okay. Let's get down to the low levels. For some reason, we are below 30 FPS right now. We're at 28 or 27 or 29. Either one of the three. So I think we've seen enough. Let's get into a combat encounter real quick. We're at 37 FPS right now in this arena with the boss enemy. Bam, 31. There we go. I mean, so far, oh boy, I mean, performance should be a lot better. But then again, it's also Wuthering, which is a lot more graphically intensive compared to Zenless and Genshin. Here we go. ulti real quick. Oh boy, that's 26 FPS right now. That is rough. Alright, ulti. Alright, sound, bam. There you go. Ulti one more time. And yep, that's it. Alright, let's head on to the village over here. And I think we're back at 37 FPS, which, you know, isn't too promising. But let's get outside here to the plains and just fight some enemies out in the open. 35, 44, 41. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. 35. Alright, and they are done. 33, 35. Yeah, I mean, Wuwa is a very intensive game either way. Alright, and that's over and done with, but still, you know, performance really hasn't improved since that boss fight out in the open, but at least it hasn't dropped further with, you know, a lot more assets in right now. Let's just do that tacit feel. Oh my lord, okay, that was a big drop. Alright, that was a pretty big drop, but let's hit the tacit feel real quick. And bam, 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 bam. Ulti, let's go. Oh, that's rough. Oh, I missed that activation. Holy crap, okay. Okay, did not miss that one though. Let's get it on. Okay, ability. Boom. And ulti. To end things off hopefully. And yeah, that's it. Currently the game has been up for close to 16 minutes. Let's just check temperatures real quick. 45.4, 45, 44.6. Alright. And 42.7. Highest number so far, 37. Top bit over here is like 45, somewhere on there. 45.2. And on this side, which is like pure screen, 30. 31.1. And yeah, nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, these numbers are kind of expected when it comes to Wuwa at such a high. No, these numbers are expected when it comes to Wuwa anyway. So let's check the back. 36, 39, 36.8-ish for the camera modules. 35 even. And then we shift over here, night and day. 42.8, 41, 42.8, 41.9. Nothing higher than these 40s in their ranges right now. Alright, you can go lower, 39, 36.8, 37.5. Yep. These are A-OK. And on this end, pure screen, 30.9, 31.2. Yeah, these are okay. Alright. With that, let's get into our final game, PUBG Mobile. Alright, so we're back. Let's check temperatures real quick. Do like a quick 2 to 3 minute break. Checking the top over here. 28.8, 28.9. Alright, these, again, this thing cools down very quickly. There's like 45 on this end just now. Yeah, on this end it was 45. 32, and we're back to 32. That's still crazy. Alright, the back, where it was like what, 43 just now, 31.4 right now. That's still crazy to me. Great thermal management performance so far. And look at that. On the pure screen side, it's back to below 30 on the top bits over here. That is nice to see. Alright, let's get into PUBG Mobile. Alright, PUBG right now, FPS is looking to be about 120. It's kind of dropping a little bit, but you know what, so far so good. It's just that the FOV will take some time to get used to. What the hell? Oh, I'm down too. Oh, god damn it. Alright, one more time. That's gonna be fun. Okay, so as we are free falling down, skydiving now, I mean, it's a, you know, no frame rate drops whatsoever, and yeah, everything is rendering in. I don't see any huge issues. And is this guy even gonna budge? We are not gonna hit where we're gonna hit. Come on, man. What the hell? Oh, this is bad. This is really bad. Okay, so we did not hit boot camp, but I want to hit those villages over there. These huts over here. Let's go. Nice, got him. Checking. Some good stuff on the parapet over here. Gonna grab all of that. And I'm done. That's great. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna hit back. Okay, it's a bit bright right now, but I think that should be okay. It's not blown out or anything. I think we'll figure out where that guy is at. Okay. Let's get in. Nice. I can't pull out my weapon, so I do think that I am more or less gonna die. So let's just check temperatures while I contemplate. Oh. Okay, let's see if we can get out. Can't get out alive, who knows? And I'm done. And I'm dead. 34.1. We've been up for about, 16 minutes so far. 34.5, 35.6, looking pretty okay. On this end, 33.9, 34.9, 36.2, 43, wow. Okay, did not expect that from PUBG, but here we are. Wow, okay, 43.5 for PUBG. Higher than Zenless and Genshin, or rather higher than Genshin. I can't remember what Zenless numbers were like, but man, look at that, 44, wow. Okay, that is interesting. Let's check the back. 43.8. Okay, to be fair, because, we don't have the kind of graphical quality that WoWa has, but, we are pushing it to 120 FPS, which is like twice the amount compared to the other 3 games, I mean. So, that's understandable. But 42.4, 43, that's crazy. I've never seen a phone go this high for PUBG in a while, if I'm not wrong. And go on this side, which is pure screen, 34.1, 33.7. Nothing out of the ordinary, but yeah, this is interesting. Okay, so I think we have enough. Let's get into our final thoughts. The Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 has taken me on a pretty interesting ride. The thermal management has been amazing so far, but I think when it comes to the graphical quality, somehow the Snapdragon 8 Elite and Adreno 830 combo wombo isn't working out like I thought it would. Again, we just got these devices and they are very fresh, and I think when it comes to Zenless, WoWa, and Genshin, there's definitely going to be patches out there to optimize it for the Fold 7 in the near future. Playing with it felt great, but because it's thin, you just got to make sure you got a good grip on the device. So far, I haven't had it slip out of my hands or anything, so that's reassuring. Other than that, it's just very surprising we hit 43 degrees for PUBG on smooth graphics and ultra extreme frame rate. I don't think that has ever happened before on this channel with any of the devices we're testing out. Overall, I think the devs and Samsung will work out the kinks and everything should be good in due time. This has great thermal management and potential for amazing gaming performance provided an update or 2 comes out. This is beautiful with a great display and speakers, so let me know in the comment section if you're thinking of getting this. So let me know in the comment section if you're thinking of getting this, and if you have any questions, we'll do our best to get to them. If you like what we do, make sure to follow us on all of our socials right here, and maybe leave a like and subscribe to us. It goes a long way. If you want to see more stuff, check this out.
for effortless riding. Introducing aluminum-lined self-developed bicycles that run in greener travel.
I'm counting on you all to get 5,000 likes.
Stay away from auto-related dangers.
It makes you look cuter.
Yeah. That's a little way by the accent. Why would you hear that?
Oh, the pleasure.
My loyalty lies with the winner. Looking for intel? Or hiring me for a job?
The energy feels off. Great destiny.
Under rest. Stay down and stay down.
Okay, sorry about that. The stream got caught again. Bash stream. Bash stream, man. Yeah, the stream got caught again. Look, Kevin Fat stop doing that.
Oh, that sweet, serious little one. I remember him. He sometimes comes by the shop to buy things, always so polite and meticulous. Whenever I teased him a little, he'd get adorably flustered.
Yeah, sorry about that. The stream got caught up again.
Now that I think about it, it's been quite some time since I last saw him.
Look, Kevin Fat
Maybe a month
stop
or two?
doing that.
He didn't seem quite himself last time.
Sorry
Looking
about
a
that.
bit
It's not my
down.
fault because Kevin
I
Fat
had to call his name a few times to get his attention, like his mind was somewhere else entirely.
Yeah, that's not my fault because I didn't do anything.
That must have been right around
It's very
when
easy to
Bowline was
realize
mistaken
that
for
Kevin
Beeline.
Fat cut himself.
He was probably feeling
Doing
pretty
my
uneasy
stream
about it.
as embarrassing.
I tried asking what was going on, but he
Sorry
didn't say
about that.
much. Just kind of mumbled things like, I wasn't much help, and if only I were stronger. It sounded like he was upset about not being able to do more.
Not being able to do more? Back at Yunkui Summit, Bowline was always one of our hardest workers. He trained so diligently and never once turned anyone down when they asked for help. I haven't been around him much lately, so I'm not sure what was eating at him. Back when Shifu fought with the Exaltists and was wounded, everyone was panicking, scrambling to hold things together. When things finally calmed down, the disciples at Yunkui Summit were contacting me to check how we were doing over here. Bowlion was there too. I remember I casually said something like, if only everyone could be as strong as Shifu, then she wouldn't have to carry the burden every time something happens. Could it be Bowlion took that to heart?
And maybe that made him think he's not strong enough and pushed him to train harder.
All this because of a misunderstanding?
Oh, it's all my fault. I even thought at one point that he caught some kind of virus, and that's why his training backfired.
But is that really it? From the way Bowline was acting, I feel like there's something else going on. Oh, Fairy, are you done with your investigation?
System log scan for Bowlion complete. No signs of virus infection detected. No abnormal responses, resource spikes, or tampering of settings found.
Now we can be sure Bowlion wasn't infected with that virus Raisin mentioned earlier. Thank goodness.
Hidden folder, The Way of Loneliness, has been found. Please confirm if you would like to open it. Oh, that's kind of a sad name.
A hidden folder? And with a name like that? That's definitely suspicious. Let's open it up and make sure Bowline isn't caught up in something bad.
Opening hidden folder titled The Way of Loneliness. Detected 32,759 text files, 2,589 search logs, and 36 bookmarks. Primary contents include web novels such as The Road to Heavens. Engagement canceled? Take this world-destroying thunder as a betrothal gift. Pushing through 9 heavens, my power comes from loot. And the system made me raise the villain as my lackey.
A Bangbu getting hooked on web novels isn't unusual. Unless there's actually some hidden message in here.
No hidden data detected. Records show that prior to encountering the game and the chess legend in Wi-Fi Peninsula, Bowlion had already been addicted to wuxia and cultivation web novels for several months. These files are 100% authentic, legitimate, and malware-free cultivation web novels.
So basically, Bowline got super into cultivation web novels. Then he saw Ginger playing the game Enna Chess Legend and decided that's his own path to enlightenment? And all that Chosen One stuff was just him getting way too into his own fantasy.
Searching keyword, The Chosen One. Document found, cultivation notes. I bought water for my junior disciples 3 times in a row. I won a get one free prize. Could this be the fated stroke of luck of the Chosen One, as described in The Road to Heavens? The junior disciples said I've made great progress, but I haven't undergone any special training. Maybe my spiritual insight as the Chosen One has finally awakened? The tribulations of the Chosen One. Could it be that Yunquei Summit's conflict with the Exaltists is also a disaster brought by my fate? This is the only way. Chi Refinement Stage, Foundation Establishment Stage, Divine Transformation Stage, and finally, Trial of Ascension Stage. The road ahead is long. As the Chosen One, I am destined to walk this path alone. After I descend the mountains into the mortal realm and break this fate, I will awaken my powers and then return to my fellow disciples. Based on his reading habits, Big Data kept pushing him pseudo-cultivation content such as The Chosen One and Chi Revival. Cross-referencing with his cultivation notes and keyword searches suggests that there is a 91% chance that Bolian interpreted Yunquei Summit's prior conflict as a calamity brought upon those around him, all because of his fate as the Chosen One.
I see. No wonder he never came to check in at the temple. He's been out there acting as Belian this whole time.
That was quite the misunderstanding. But honestly, for a little Bangbu, it's not too surprising he'd convince himself of something like that after reading all those stories.
Have you ever encountered anything like this before?
No, this is the first time. But it does make me wonder. Things like chi refinement, foundation establishment. In the cultivation novels and games, they always come with clear stages, right? But in real life, especially for Bangbu, there's really no clear standard to measure their worth. So it's not surprising some of them get lost in a world like that. As for this little guy, he's just trying to find his own way to deal with all the uncertainty in life.
I think I get it now. Thank you so much, Miss Manager.
So, should we try to convince Bolian to come back to the temple?
Oh, no. It's fine as long as he's not in danger. He's been living out there all alone for a while now. It must be rough. But if this is the life he wants to experience, just let him be. Honestly, he's always so mature and put together. I've never seen him this genuinely excited about something. I believe he'll go back on his own when he's ready. Tim, home is where everyone from Yunquei Summit is, after all. Let's go talk to Bolian now. I'd love to ask him to teach me his ways. This game stuff is a little brainy for me, but I still want to join him on his training.
The bonds between the young ones. Even I'm a little touched. So, what about the Easter egg? Are you still planning to look for it?
Let's just leave it up to fate. Maybe it doesn't even exist. Or, who knows, maybe one day, the Chosen One will stumble across it.
Okay, sorry about that. I did not even realize that the stream got caught again. Stupid Kevin 5 Live. It's not meant to be that happen like that. If this happens again, I need to refresh, I need to reboot my phone and hoping this will work again. If not, then... We're not going to check the Wi-Fi hop again because I don't have all the Wi-Fi hop in my bedroom yet. Let's just get embarrassed streaming at the content right.
Starry night. Starry night.
I really hate how this happened that way.
Loving mother.
I like how people would strike a seashore and slam against people with property like PlayStation and Switch or whatever like that way. And it's not bloody nice. Okay, sorry about that because it got cut off again. I really hate how this bloody happened. If this would be having this all the time, I'm going to reboot my phone and try again. It's annoying. not pop up again. Have it on 25 live. Don't cut streaming off of that way. Damn it, not now.
Jumpstart your day. Sometimes stopping to take a break can help you go further.
Are the freshest in the morning. Come, have a bowl of noodles. Got your fill? See you next time.
click on how to sell VHS and records and for future. Like that. Right. That is not a real punishment to hang out with these agents in this newer update still.
Please help me. He's scared out of his mind. Thinks I'm gonna eat him. I've been trying to explain myself, but it seems to have backfired. Don't be afraid. I don't eat raw meat.
What? So you're gonna cook me before you eat me? Stay away! You may be a Thyran, but don't think the laws of New Eridu will somehow spare you!
Like that. Could you convince him to calm down a bit, please? I met a new friend on the Applied Mathematics Forum, and we arranged to meet up here. It's so hard to make new friends. If he sees all this, he'll be frightened off for sure.
Leave it to me. I'll calm him down.
Get away from him! His paw is as big as your whole head!
See? Nothing to be scared of.
Ah! He's trying to eat you! He's drooling everywhere! It's terrifying!
You try leaving your mouth open like that. You drool lots too. It's not because I'm hungry.
Sorry. Talking to him seems to just make things worse.
It's fine. I'm used to it. When seeing someone several times your size, it's only natural to be guarded and afraid, right? It's not their fault. But being unable to make friends just because of one's size, well, it's hard not to be disappointed. Luckily, I still have everyone from Bellabog. And you too. You all stick by me. Excuse me, sir. I apologize for the trouble. I'll just go wait for my friends somewhere else, so you don't have to worry.
Stop threatening me! I'm meeting my friend here real soon! He's 2 meters tall, a super cool guy with a heavy-duty jacket and a gold chain as thick as your finger around his neck. If you mess with me, you mess with my big, powerful friend. Mess with my big, powerful friend, and you'll spend the rest of your life regretting it.
Ben, the description of this cool guy he's talking about sounds like you. Do you secretly lead a double life?
Wait, but that sounds like me, but also not? I told the friend I was meeting what I'd be wearing, but I wasn't that dramatic.
Hang on. 2 meters tall, cool hair, a heavy-duty jacket, and a thick necklace. No way. Don't tell me you're the random processor?
That must mean you're 10 times student of real analysis.
So he's that new friend you're meeting. Well, guess we've solved our misunderstanding.
Wow. I was so terrified just then, but now that I know you're a friend, I feel a real sense of security instead. If my boss knew I had a friend like you, he'd think twice about trying to force me into doing free overtime again.
Sense of security? Nobody's ever said that to me before.
You look so strong and trustworthy. It makes me feel secure too.
How about that? I guess my appearance does have its benefits. It can be a real inconvenience. People are always scared to approach me, so sometimes I wish I weren't like this. But the president says me being like this is full of power. I used to think that meant I looked reliable, that I could protect everyone.
You're the best bear thyron I've ever met.
Thank you for letting me believe it again.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Start this beautiful day with a win? Sorry, work habit. Thanks for coming. Hope you had a great time.
you're interested, manager. Here, take this prize.
Chingy.
Isn't there supposed to be a quiz?
Oh, right. We have a quiz. Manager, how many fingers are on this hand?
5? Is this a trick question?
Don't overthink it. There's no such thing as a trick question. Well done. You got it right. Your prize is Officer Julian. You may take her home now.
I can't believe I'm the prize for such a simple question. Chingy, have you forgotten our friendship?
Looks like you've accepted reality and given up resisting. Good. That means the duty of supervising Juyuen's vacation now falls upon you, manager.
Vacation? Where do you want to go?
That's right. It doesn't matter where you take her. Just make sure she gets a break. Beware, Juyuen is quite cunning. She may feign taking a break while actually being on duty. So you must remain vigilant and be able to tell the difference.
I'll get the job done.
Great. I'm relieved to hear it.
So, where would you like to go, Julian?
How about 6th Street?
You're not secretly trying to patrol there, are you?
Not at all. There's just a lot of stores in that area, so we can kill some time visiting each one. The metro's quite crowded today.
You might not know this because you usually drive a patrol car.
I don't think so. I take the metro to the office every morning, and it's never this crowded.
The morning? What time?
The first train. It's usually just me on there. Oh, I think we're here. Even the sky looks more beautiful when I'm on vacation.
You're just giving me a line. Why do you hate vacation so much? What's wrong with relaxing once in a while?
It's not that I dislike vacations, just mandatory ones. I was suddenly informed that leave can no longer be carried forward to the following year when I just managed to accumulate 79 days of leave. They can't afford to pay me if I convert my leave into cash, so I was forced to go on vacation. But there's still so much work to be done. I can't just leave it all to my colleagues and run off to have fun on my own. I have no choice but to take a break for a couple of days. Ugh! All my plans have been disrupted!
You must be lying. No one who actually wants to take a break can manage to save up 79 days of leave. I bet you never even plan on using any of it.
I was planning to take a short break after getting through this hectic period. Manager, please don't give me the stare of justice. Fine. I promise I'll rest properly today under your supervision. It never was.
You mean Tin Master has a great eye for prime real estate?
No, I mean, this location is strategically important as it overlooks the roads in both horizontal and vertical directions. When an emergency arises, I can basically keep the entirety of 6th Street under my supervision by positioning myself here. It's a shame that the windows and doors are all glass. They need to be reinforced with bulletproof materials first.
What kind of emergency do you have on your mind? An ethereal crisis or a new Eridu defense war? Where should I place my camera?
You're using that stare of justice on me again. Oh, sorry. Old habits die hard. Oh, 6th Street is a really great place. What was the name of the store we walked past just now? 404 Error? It seems to be perfectly built to withstand air attacks and can also be used as a shelter when certain natural disasters strike.
What now? An alien invasion? An Ice Age apocalypse? Can you at least try to maintain a more positive outlook for our city?
We can never be too prepared for emergencies. I know. Vacation. I'm sorry. It's just work habits, you know? You have a couple of your own too, right?
At most, I just get cranky when I can't remember which movies a certain actor appeared in. It's nothing compared to you. You even managed to discover the secret relationship between Madame Wong and Mr. Bott just by observing their drying racks while passing by. That's not the kind of info I want to know. How am I going to face Madame Wong and Mr. Bott now?
By the way, the location of your store actually rivals Tin Master's. Although, the foot traffic here might not top that of the cafe. The 2 exits on the adjacent streets lead to 4 different directions, and there's also a parking lot. And this place is relatively quiet in this bustling city. It's a perfect place to stage a ruse to confuse your enemies so you can operate in shadows. Your stare this time seems to carry a more complex set of emotions compared to the previous 2. My apologies. Please, play the movie. I promise I'll do nothing but enjoy my vacation this time.
Nuts. can also wear a camera Firefly do not even trust me doing streaming like that. I'm making keep my eye on the stream also too because I can't cut off too much time. It's always been me like that. Come on, can Firefly, keep going. Damn it. Can just try to fight it. Just try to fight it, can Firefly. It's bounced. That's quite bad. sorry about that. That kind of fact like but stupid really is because I'm gonna test out later once I'm really working on it because that's not my fault because that kind of fact didn't even trust me. I mean, what's up with a stupid streaming application like that way? Yeah, I need to end the stream now because I don't have bought the money for another Bible for my bedroom because if that it would be able to order it for me for my bedroom so it would be a lot easier to stream it that way. It's embarrassing when a kid cut off way too much time and it's annoying like that. I'm sorry about that, but that's not my fault because so I love Zenless and Theo because it's my favourite gacha game still. But that is so painful about the neck like that off my own phone like this. So I got in the stream there. I hope you guys and girls enjoy watching these live streaming videos. Please leave comments below. Please subscribe and follow me on my TikTok, my Twitch, my Discord and my Patreon channels and click the bell for notification. Peace in the shorts. I hope you enjoy it. Peace in the shorts. Sorry about that.